Hey guys, I am coming on here with just a really quick vision, a flash vision that God has wanted me to put out now. This is something you gotta seek in prayer. These are mysteries and revelations that don't really feel like too many people understand or have spoken about. But as I'm studying, God is showing me, say what I need you to say. Say what I need you to say. So I'm just gonna say what I have to say and release this and let it be. So I was in the book of Jeremiah today, Jeremiah chapter 1. That's where God had me in today. And I was just studying, doing my usual. And in verse 14 to 15, God was showing me something new. And in that time when this was written, yes, there was a people of the north that came and did exactly what this was. One thing God showed me is that we're getting closer from that time, from Jeremiah's time when he wrote this. We are always getting closer to the days of Noah again. God showed me that there is always a repetition of time. It always is. We know in Ecclesiastes, nothing is new underneath the sun. Nothing is. So we're getting closer to there no matter what. In today's time, it is very evident. Archaeologists, scientists, people of not the faith are finding bones, archaeological land masses where Nephilim were. It is so mainstream now that it really shouldn't be a surprise. If you don't know about it, just simply type up Nephilim skeletons or giant skeletons on YouTube, or just go in a simple search and seek the Lord on it. It will reveal itself easily. So that being said, here we go, what I'm about to share. I was reading all of it, and in verse 14 and 15, I saw something. So I'm just going to start there. In verse 14, it says, "Then the Lord said unto me, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land." Now we understand that God's judgments are repetitive. You don't just have to look at how Egypt was torn down and how the plagues of Egypt happened. That was a spectacle of God and a massive revealing of what God does in the repetition. Yet he can use one of each of those plagues for destruction of a whole nation. God could have used the locust to do everything he wanted it to do. He could have used the darkness to take care of everything. Honestly, God could have used the angel of death that passed by the Israelites to do all that he wanted. But he decided to do 9 different things for his purpose. Okay? Now understand, as God judges repetitively, please read the Old Testament. It is so evident how he does things over and over and over again. As long as sin's going to be the same, the punishment will always be the same, or as it's always been in prior evidence. Okay? So understand that what I'm about to say. As God is going to judge this world, we have to understand the time frame he says we're in. He says that towards his coming, towards the Son of Man being revealed, towards the manifestation of Jesus, however you want to put it, you're going to be getting closer to the days of Noah. So where should you study in order to figure out where you're at? That part of the Bible. You should really sink your teeth into those days and see the correlation. Now that I say that, the book of Enoch is a great read as well. It correlates so hard on the fallen angels mating with the daughters of women and creating giants. Now, if you read the beginning of the book of Enoch, it's not just talking about giants that were messed up. It wasn't just giants they birthed. He says Nephilim, Araphim, and he has a whole other list of actual titles of races that were hybrids. Okay, so it's not always just going to be giants that you're going to find. You're going to find contortions of man. That's the biggest thing. Okay, contortions of man. Now that that's been said, I'm going to read and share what I saw. So in verse 15, it says, "For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, saith the Lord, and they shall come, and they shall set everyone in his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof, round about and against all the cities of Judah. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me and have burnt incense unto other gods, and worship the works of their own hands. Okay. In the days of Noah, this was literally going on. All right. And this is in the book of Jeremiah, which was way after that. So we're seeing the repetition here. We're seeing repetition here of how they worshiped and how these people operated in their heart. Now, as we're getting closer to the days of Noah, I saw this vision, and I'm just going to say it the way I saw it, but I'm going to give you interpretation because God revealed what it meant. I saw literal staggered alien spaceships. Staggered. And what I mean by staggered is like, let's start from a 3-tier. Okay, let's just keep it there. The first tier seemed to be bigger. They seemed to have bigger ships, and the aliens were of a differentiation, but the origin of this quote unquote alien, I know they're fallen angels, guys. I know they're demonic. I know they're Nephilim, but I'm calling it that just to keep it simple. Of this alien, they were origined. Then there was a second tier. There seemed to be more of these aliens in these alien spaceships. Okay, more of them. More as in like a family tree is what I'm trying to say. So that was the second tier. Then the third tier was even more. But the origin had bigger spaceships. They were the biggest. The second had big spaceships, but not bigger than the first tier. The third had the smallest spaceships, but the most spaceships with the aliens in them. Okay, fallen angels, demons, Nephilim. What God was showing me is that be prepared. They're not always going to be giants. They origined from that. There was an origin of mixed up races, contorted races of man, the Nephilim, the Araphim. Look at the book of Enoch, it's there. Then after that generation happened, there was another generation, and they were more, but they weren't as the origin was. And then it continued to the third. They were even more, but it wasn't as the second tier was. What God is saying, he's saying that there is even a family tree of this evil. Now I'm about to get into how this all makes sense, how this could be from the north and what is happening. So we know that in Ephesians 6, it talks about we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We all know this scripture. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities, powers, and rulers of the air. Why is there 3 different titles? Why are there 3 different titles for a demonic force? It's because God is showing a tier level, but it's not just a tier level of power. It's not a tier level of dominion, but it's the family tree of the evil, of the fallen. This is the fallen family tree, okay? This is what he's saying. There is a family tree, a descendant race, a chronological order to this that is going to descend upon man. Don't know when this is, don't know how this is all going to play out, but I do know it's because of the heart of man worshiping their own hands and worshiping false gods. This access is going to be allowed. Just like in the spirit realm, when a man starts worshiping his own hands because of pride and what he can do, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, or he starts literally doing witchcraft or sorcery or that type of evil, what invades? And yes, I'm using that word on purpose. What invades? Spirits of a different race, spirits of a different tier. Many people have been through demonic attacks and understand that certain demonic attacks are stronger or harder than others. It might be because you're dealing with a different tier of evil spirit. Now, since the enemy is always trying to manifest himself physical, that's the biggest thing, one of the biggest things the enemy wants to do, manifest himself physical. He's not going to strive and do it by one race. That's too easy to pick out. He's going to do it by multiple tier or through the descendants of the Tier family chronological ancestry tree to make it deceptive, because he's tried to hide the truth that is in the Bible about what really goes on in the days of Noah. Okay? This is what I saw. This is what I was led to share. And I'm just going to end it like this. Take it all in prayer. All right? I love y'all. I'll see you next video. Appreciate everything. Bye.